Reflections, where I, Kirbanu, am sharing ideas, insights, and inspirational people with you from my journey as a independent creative. Today I've taken you somewhere special. It's actually one of my favorite places in Heidelberg in Germany. It's called the Thingstätte, and it's an outdoor amphitheatre on top of the forest here. I find it's just so beautiful to be here. It's really inspiring. And here is where I want to share with you something that's also really inspiring and I think really awesome that every creative person should know about. Patreon is an amazing concept that's all about building a direct link, a direct connection between creative people and their supporters. Patreon, as it works today, is an online internet platform where creatives are releasing art of all different types, shapes, colors, from music to theater to comic books to tutorials. They're releasing art to a community that is hungry for it and that wants to receive it. And in exchange for receiving this art from the creator, the community pays the creator a sum of money. And why this is so awesome is because by paying the creator to make their art, it gives the creator, like me, a space where they can continue to create and do what they do best. And in exchange, the community gets something that is really exclusive and not available anywhere else. So it's a win-win situation, and I think it is incredibly awesome. And if you think about it, it's not actually a new concept. Back in the day, people like Da Vinci and Mozart and Beethoven and all of the big names, they had financial support. They were getting funded to make art. So this concept now of Patreon as it is online is just really a re-articulation, a reuse, a bringing back to the roots, if you like, of patronage. So I've been using Patreon for around about the last year, and I totally love it. It's a place where I share my most intimate self. I mean, I'm pretty active on social media. I'm working on different channels. But Patreon for me is the center of where it all comes together. I try to release something on Patreon every 2 to 3 days, whether it's lyrics or a story or a photo or just information about how I'm feeling and what I'm up to. And I release an official paid for piece of content on Patreon around about every 6 weeks. If you are a creative person, you should be on Patreon, and this is why. As I said, it's a place where you can build your innermost community. Nothing needs to be more connected than your Patreon community. The awesome thing about your Patreons is that these are people who are willing to consistently pay you on a product or a monthly basis for what you do. It doesn't get any better than that, really. It's amazing. And I found through using it that it's actually very motivating. It often encouraged me to write new songs because I knew that there were people out there that were waiting for me to release this song. So I think it's a win-win situation. You know, people are getting this exclusive content and you are getting motivated and excited to share it directly with them. And the other thing that I found really cool about it is that I would often release pieces of my songs as they were in the process of being worked and ask my Patreons for feedback. So put out a snippet of a chord progression and ask them, how do you think about this? Or what images come to your mind? And sometimes that would give me ideas for where to take a song, or I'd put out lyrics and get their feedback, and it would give me this real, tangible, direct feedback on how is the song? Is this really what I think it is, or should I change it? I think there's nothing better than this. It's amazing. And if you are a person who loves to consume and have what creative people make, then you should be on Patreon because there is so much on there. There's so many brilliant people making awesome stuff that you definitely need to check out. From scientific tutorials to guitar lessons, from original music to theater pieces. There is really something for every person on there, and I believe that it's just getting bigger and better. What you get from your creator on Patreon depends upon what you give. when you decide to support someone there, you do decide upon how much you want to spend. And it can be from as little as $1 a month to the maximum amount that that creator is offering. The thing is that when they release something, they will release different kinds of somethings based upon the amount that is being paid. So there is something on there for every person, and I really believe that even the people that are supporting $1 a month, they are sometimes the ones who make the biggest difference, because as a creator working on Patreon, when you have enough people who are supporting in that way, then it really adds up and makes a massive difference in what you can create over time. So don't be shy. Patreon is an awesome concept for everybody. But don't take my word for it. Head on over to the Patreon website and check out what these amazing creators are doing over there. And if you're a creator, get your butt on over to Patreon and start making awesome shit. And if you want to see more of these kind of videos or to check out my music, feel free to subscribe to my channel. See you next time.